Merry meet and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Jennifer, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Shirley. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you so much, Shirley. And thank you to everybody for joining us today. I'm reading with this Marseille Tarot de Marsella. This is Spanish version of this by Molinier, but I don't know that this is in print anymore. I haven't been able to find it, but I have listed a very similar deck in the video description of this video on YouTube should you want to get a nice Marseille deck. Let's purify with this Agua de Colonio Concentrada, also from Spain. Wonderful, beautiful traditional eau de cologne. You can also find a link to that in the video description of this video on YouTube. If you want to fast forward through all the shuffling I'm about to do and you happen to be on a restream on YouTube, just use the timestamps right in the video description. This goes out to a lot of people, so if it doesn't seem to make any sense to you, it may not be meant for you. In that case, just disregard the reading and check out instead the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, all of which are available on my YouTube channel and also easily found on my website. Just check the free tarot readings link right in the main menu. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without ads by subscribing. You'll see a bunch of different links listed on your screen. Those are for the website. Those are where you can donate via our PayPal portal, and also to our shop where we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support. Mostly we just appreciate that you're here today. I like to remind everybody that I don't read with card reversals. Sometimes people still get confused about that because they're used to seeing readers use the reversals. I just don't like them. A lot of the decks that I read with, you can't reverse the cards, so I just stopped using them about 20 years ago. And it works just fine. It's a very valid, old-fashioned way of reading. So there's that. So let me just shuffle this up maybe 3 more times. And we'll get right to your reading today. I hope you're doing great today. And if for some reason you're not doing so great today, I hope this reading helps you to turn that around. Very, very grateful that you're here, and very grateful to those moderators. Sorry I'm running a little moment here late. I just really felt like that needed to be shuffled more. We've got an 8 of coins. We've got a King of Wands. And a 5 of swords. So this 8 of coins usually has to do with your finances and or your health or any other physical asset and your attitude towards it. And that you can think of your attitude towards how you spend money as being a command as to what you want more of. So if you're resenting having to pay so much for something, you're basically commanding more resentment, please. If you are spending with an attitude of fear, I would like more to be afraid of, please. If you're spending with an attitude of gratitude, then you're saying, I would like more to be grateful for. That's the way that we read this. Now, that's not to say that you can't ever have a resentment, that you can't ever say, wait a minute, why is this so expensive? I'm not going to pay that. It's not that. But if you do end up paying for something, it's time for you to just surrender to the gratitude. You know, if that's what it is, if it's like, I've got to fill up my gas tank, I have no choice. Maybe the gas prices are too expensive, and there's some things that you can positively do maybe towards that, you know, politically or whatever. But in the moment, when you have to buy that tank of gas, being grateful for the gas, being grateful that you happen to have the money to pay for it, that's going to do a lot more for you, magnetically speaking, than anything else in regards to keeping that flow of prosperity going. Now, you already are really skilled. You are already really good at something. And I think for many people in your mind, it's like, well, I'm so good at these things. How come I'm not making more money? Or how come I'm not more successful? And it's saying that because you're looking at the problems more than at what you are grateful for. So, of course, you've got problems. Everybody's got problems. This is a world of problems. Expecting to look on your life and say, well, when will I not have problems? Once you're not in this world anymore. This world is made of problems. That's what the world is all about. Problems, problems, problems. And solving problems is the name of the game. Now, when we get spirit on board and we say, I want to follow your guidance, the solving of the problems becomes something that's very, very positive. I don't even like the word positive. Something that's very holy, something that really works, something that is very transformative. Whereas if our ego is, quote, solving the problem, it's not, because the ego's game is to create the problems in the first place. And the ego's problems are the problems that seem like there's no way out. So when we look to our own ego mind, simply meaning that, okay, I'm going to follow my fear, I'm going to follow my tension, I'm going to follow my resentment, and then figure it out from there. When we do that, then we entrench ourselves more in the problems. So instead of looking at the problem and saying, why isn't anything working? Say, wait a minute, I'm going to look at the gratitude. I'm going to look at the praise. I'm going to look at my attitude and allow that to be the new context for me to solve these problems, not saying, why do I have problems and what's wrong with this world that I have problems? Of course you have problems. Welcome to this life. We all have problems. Some of our problems seem really big. Some of them seem insurmountable. If that's the case, the last place you want to go looking for help is ego. The last place you want to go looking for help is where that fear is where that upset is where that resentment is, because that's the entrenchment of the problems. Where you want to go to is, well, what is working in my life? What part of this is working? Something's working, or I'd be dead. Something's working here. So what do I have to be grateful for? What do I get to praise? How can I praise? When you can pivot from the problem to the praise, then you are magnetic to the solution. It's like clockwork. And you know that that's true because you've just overcome a big problem by doing that. It's saying here, you've already done it. You've already proven it to yourself. So I'm not telling you any news. Two of wands and this beautiful sun card. You're doing great. You're doing great. Look at you. So yeah, you got problems, but you also have solutions. Part of the problem is the impatience in regards to, I'm working so hard, why don't I have more to show for it? I'm so good at certain things. Why is it that when I, quote, follow my passions, I'm not rolling in the prosperity? Well, right now, it's because of that impatience itself. Instead of saying, I know that there's a place in which I am successful, that I am prosperous, and that is symbolized here by the sun card, and that solar light is the divine design of your life versus these problems that you're looking at, which are the design of your ego. Right? So if you can, it's today's reading is all about not trying to wonder why there are problems, but to say, well, where there are problems, I need to move my attention from the problem to the solution. And I don't know what the solution is. Therefore, I have to have faith in this power that does know what the solution is, rather than trying to figure it out from the level where the problem was created. So that's why we can do things like call on the solar light, because when we call on that solar light, the solar light is the power of the universe emanating off that sixth sphere of the Hermetic tree of life that does for us everything we cannot do for ourselves. It is coded with the divine design of your life where there are no problems. You ask, how come we can't have problems? Because that only exists in what the Psalms call heaven. Heaven's not a place. Heaven is an awareness of who you are as a soul rather than who you are as an ego. And when we live our lives as who we are as souls, we don't have problems. And problems do get solved in very miraculous ways. And ultimately, as we let go of all of our ego addictions, our addictions to things being a certain way here in this world, and surrender to who we are as souls, then the world as we know it actually disappears. Right? So there's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to look forward to because the divine design of your life and your soul are one, and they have all kinds of cool plans for you. But the ego has its own agenda. And so whatever you're focusing on is what you're proving your allegiance to. So if you're focusing on, I'm going to figure out this problem myself, so I'm going to go where the fear is, I'm going to go where the worry is, I'm going to go where, the problem actually is being created, then you don't have any way out of the problem. But if you say, I don't know what this is, I don't know how to solve this, but infinite intelligence already has the solution, because the divine design of my life is a place where, or is a realm where this has already been solved. And in fact, this is a realm where this didn't even happen in the first place. And so that's why when we can move into solar light rather than ego, it's as if a miracle happens. And it does. But a miracle is not that big of a deal from the point of view of the solar light or the soul. A miracle just means that you're moving your focus from the world where nothing works for you to the world where everything works for you. So then you are getting that attitude is automatically creating for you magnetism to bring to you everything that you need to A, solve the problem, and B, be happy. Right? But if you are focusing on the realm of the ego where that problem gets created, then your magnetism is, let's get some more things to be upset about. Let's get some more problems. Let's prove to ourselves how this can't be solved. Let's prove to ourselves how we are doomed. Let's prove to ourselves that it doesn't matter how good I am at something, that I can never succeed in anything, because that's just the way life is, because the universe doesn't love me, or whatever your particular story is, right? We can say, well, and sometimes if you've ever worked psalm magic, sometimes the best thing to do when you're feeling this way is, when you go to a psalm, is indulge in it for a minute. Just like, oh, nothing works for me, everything's horrible, no, blah, blah, and just really let yourself deal with that. Let yourself go through that. And once you're on the other side of that, say, okay, now I've done that. Let's pivot away from this problem. Let's get onto that solar light. Let's get onto that higher power. Let's let the solution occur in the way that it understands and that I don't. And I want to get to the business of my soul. I want to get back to the business of living as a soul rather than as an ego. And then the problems do disappear. Just real quickly, this King of Wands is... you are right. You are good at things. You do have some worth that's unbelievable that nobody else could ever replace. Okay? And that's true. And you do deserve to be paid for that. You do deserve to be successful. And infinite intelligence agrees with you on that. But the ego does not. So if things don't seem to be working out, don't go where the fear is. Don't go where the upset is. Don't go where those things are. Say, I don't know how to get to where I'm supposed to go. And I'm not gonna try to figure it out based on what I think I know, because what I know is wrong, because I've been poorly taught my whole life. So, but infinite intelligence can teach me. And infinite intelligence is where I'm going right now. So I'm going to call on that solar light. I'm going to get my attitude moving, and I'm going to find the gratitude. I'm going to find that praise, and I'm going to sit and watch this heal itself in marvelous ways that I never knew were available to me. Right? And don't feel bad when you've got problems. Welcome to the club. It's okay. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. But the solution to your problems, now you are being presented with an idea that's going to be a lot different from any other problem-solving technique that you have ever tried in your past. You're going to say, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let the solar light do it for me, and I'm going to be guided and directed, and I'm going to answer each thing with praise, each thing with gratitude, and I'm going to sit and watch this thing turn around and be completely healed in obviously bizarre ways that I didn't even know were possible. Thank you for spending some time with me, and thank you to the amazing moderators Jennifer and Shirley. We will see you for another reading tomorrow. Blessed be.